Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Duluth FC Blue-Green Soccer here on the iFan Sports Network. This is Matt Johnson alongside my production engineer, Craig Morrissey, coming to you live from Walt Hunting Stadium and Marv Heikkinen Field here in Duluth, Minnesota, with the Blue-Greens hosting the opening round of the MPSL playoffs here. It's the MPSL North Conference semifinal round as the Blue-Greens taking on Dakota Fusion FC for the second straight time. Of course, these two teams met in the regular season finale here in Duluth a week ago, but the Blue-Greens finishing out the regular season as the number 2 seed with 21 points in the MPSL North Conference table. 6 victories, 1 defeat, and 3 draws, giving them 21 points. Will Mindstrom, the head coach of the Blue-Greens in his first season at the helm of Duluth FC, and they are coming off of a 2-1 win against Dakota Fusion, as I mentioned, in the regular season finale in a game that was played last Wednesday here at Walt Hunting Stadium in Duluth. In that 2-1 victory for the Blue-Greens, both teams played an extremely conservative and cagey first 80 minutes, with neither side combining for much offensive opportunity, before the two sides combined to score 3 goals over the final 15 minutes of the contest to give the Blue-Greens that 2-1 final score in the victory. Duluth FC opening up the scoring on the 82nd minute when a floated corner kick was headed home by Duluth FC's Jake Cervantes off the gloves of Fusion keeper Callum Smith, and into the side netting to give the Blue-Greens a 1-0 lead. Dakota Fusion came back just before regular time ended as Caden Green, their leading scorer during the regular season, followed up a shot off of the left post before pushing home a rebound past Duluth FC keeper Augustin Warneau in the 89th minute to eat up the contest at 1 apiece. But the Blue-Greens got the eventual game winner in the 95th minute when Joao Magalhaes took a feed from Akeem Sulemana and slotted a shot into the upper half of the net and past Smith from the middle of the 18 for his team-leading 11th goal of the season to give Duluth FC the 2-1 victory. With the victory, the Blue-Greens finished the regular season, as I mentioned, with 21 points, finishing in second place behind Siouxland United. The Outlaws took home the MPSL North Conference regular season title and the number 1 seed for the MPSL North Conference playoffs with a 2-1 win over Minnesota Blizzard FC. That game was played at Lakeville North High School in the Twin Cities at the same time as Duluth FC was taking on Dakota Fusion FC here last Wednesday. They finished with a total of 24 points, going 7-0-3 during the regular season. Fusion, meanwhile, finished with a record of 5-4-1, giving them 16 points in a third-place finish in the MPSL North with a total of 16 points. The Blizzard, meanwhile, Minnesota Blizzard FC, took home the 4th and final playoff berth in the MPSL North with a record of 2 victories, 5 defeats, and 3 draws, giving them a total of 9 points during the regular season. With that victory, by the way, Duluth FC, along with being 6-1-3 during the regular season, now has 26 goals for and 9 goals against on the season, while Dakota Fusion FC finished with 24 goals for and 17 against during the regular season here in 2026. So that's what the two teams stand here as the opening round, semifinal round, in fact, of the MPSL North Conference tournament getting underway here in Duluth in just a few minutes. Temperature is very pleasant here, 70 to 75 degrees, and not much wind on the field, plenty of blue sky above the playing surface as well, so we expect perfect conditions for this game tonight between the Blue-Greens and the Fusion. So that's the story here in Duluth as we get ready to begin the MPSL North postseason tournament here in Duluth. And with that being the case, we'll take a quick break before we throw things down on the field for the introduction of the two teams, the playing of the national anthem, and then the opening kick of this contest between the Blue-Greens of Duluth FC and Dakota Fusion FC. That's coming up in a couple minutes, so stick around. This is Duluth FC Soccer, sponsored by Aspira St. Luke's, Sears Aircraft, and VW Duluth here on the iFan Sports Network.
Marvikanen Field at Walt Hunting Stadium for tonight's National Premier Soccer League North Conference semifinal between Dakota Fusion FC and your Duluth FC Blue Green. Let's meet today's starting 11. First for Dakota Fusion. 00, Callum Smith. Number 6, Caden Green. Number 7, Magnus Davidson. Number 8, Charlie Vilkening. Number 9, Noah Noss. Number 11, James Owen. Number 15, Kazuya Fugamura. Number 17, Toa Suzuki. Number 20, Takudo Yamaguchi. Number 21, Rico Motomura. And number 25, Josh Hatton. And now let's meet the starting 11 for your Duluth FC Blue Green. Starting at defense, number 3, Joe Wilson. At defense, number 4, Nathan Porter. At defense, number 5, Jacob Wild. At defense, number 6, Paul Side. At forward, number 7, Akeem Sulemana. At midfield, number 8, Mateus Gomez. At forward, number 9, Seth Davidson. At midfield, number 10, Kenji Vertil Torres. At forward, number 11, Joel Magalhães. At midfield, number 17, Jake Cervantes. And in goal, number 26, Augustin Wano. Assistant coach Beckett Sherman, the head coach of your Blue Greens is Will Menstrup. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you are able, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Two teams have been introduced and we're moments away from getting this MPSL North semifinal contest between the Blue Greens of Duluth FC and Dakota Fusion FC underway here. Under beautiful skies, temperatures, like I said, in the mid-70s, probably dropping just a little bit now. We had some rain in the area at the beginning of the day, but right now, there's some wispy clouds off to the right, but for the most part, pretty much perfect conditions right now. The flagpole across the way completely limp. Not a lot of breeze actually on the drive in either. So perhaps we'll avoid the lake breeze The large air conditioner known as Lake Superior off to our left is holding off as far as picking up the wind, and it should make for a very, very pleasant evening here in this playoff contest between the Blue Greens as the, in the Fusion as the two captains out at midfield. Magnus Davidson for Dakota Fusion FC and Nathan Porter in his third year with Duluth FC for the Blue Greens here. As we're moments away from getting this one underway. The Fusion, as they were last week when these two teams met in the regular season finale, wearing yellow tops with black shorts and yellow socks. We're going from right to left in this opening 45 minutes. Meanwhile, Duluth FC, also as they were last week, wearing their home navy jerseys with the green shorts and the navy socks, will be going from left to right in this opening 45 minutes. Again, thank you for joining us, by the way. Nice broadcast, as always. Sponsored by Aspirus St. Luke's, VW of Duluth, and Sears Aircraft, as the Blue Greens, it may be their final home game of the year, depending on how the other semifinal between Siouxland United and Minnesota Blizzard FC plays out. This may be the home finale for the 2026 season for the Blue Greens. If that's the case, it's been feels like a very fast season here. And in fact, Mr. Morrissey to my left, my production engineer, calling up the weather. 69 degrees right now, and partly cloudy is the official weather conditions here as we get ready to get this one underway. Joao Magalhaes, by the way, for Duluth FC. Tied for third right now in the entire MPSL in goals with 11. He's to the top of the circle on your view screens. Meanwhile, Dakota Fusion with Caden Green standing over this one. Leading scorer for the Fusion, scored 9 goals, including the lone goal for the Fusion last week in the regular season finale. And he plays it back to Magnus Davidson, the Fusion team captain. And we're officially underway here in this playoff contest. Again, thank you for joining us here on a beautiful night for football here in Duluth. As in the back now, this is Rico Motomoro for Magnus Davidson. Both teams with a Davidson out here. Magnus Davidson, number 7 in yellow, while Seth Davidson returns for the Blue Greens. He's number 9 in navy for Duluth FC, as this ball is played over the top by Josh Hatton. Dustin Warnell out of his box will play it away with the left foot to the far side of the field. Takes a weird bounce off the noggin there of Kenji Vertil Dorelus, but he seems all right, and we play on here. As here's a ball now to the outside. Flag goes up as Green got a step behind Jake Cervantes, but was a step off, and we'll have a free kick here for Duluth FC. Just underway here as the crowd continuing to file into Walt Hunting Stadium. And it looks like it'll be Jacob Wiles that'll take the free kick here for the Blue Greens, and he will play it over for Joseph Wilson on the left foot. Wilson to the far side now for Paul Saez. This back four for Duluth FC has been pretty steady throughout the year. Not a lot of lineup changes there, as this ball over the top from Wiles will come all the way into the 18, where Callum Smith, the starting goalkeeper, will play it and leave it on the deck here now. As Motomura sending it over the top. Both teams trading long balls at the start of this one here. This comes across midfield. Akeem Suleiman trying to settle it. And now come to the outside. Toya Suzuki now playing it through the middle. Noah Naus now to the far side. And here's Takuto Yamaguchi, who finished second on the Fusion in goals this season. He had 7 during the regular season, so between Green and Yamaguchi, 16 of the Fusion's 24 regular season goals between those two players. As Magnus Davidson now will square it to the outside. Here's Kazuya Fukumura playing it near side. Hatton with the left foot. He'll play it over the top, and that'll bounce into the 18. Couple of hops and waiting there, or Warno will play it off of his chest. Very cagey first 80-plus minutes between the two teams last week. In the meantime, now here's Wiles walking it forward. Sending it near side now. Mateus Gomez getting his second straight start for Duluth FC. And they swing it now to the far side. Here's Wilson. Vertel Dorelus. Now Wiles. Plays the angling ball near side. Flick on from Jake Cervantes now. Here's Joao Magalhaes getting his first touch of the game. While Magalhaes trying to touch inside, he was grabbed from behind by Charlie Wilkening, and it'll be a free kick for the Blue Greens, about 25 yards away from Calvin Smith's goal to our right. And Greg was here with me last Wednesday when these two teams closed out the regular season. It was very cagey. It was, like I said, it didn't look like we were even going to get a goal for that first 80-plus minutes. Not a lot of anything being. Yeah, it was very, very cagey. And then all of a sudden, 3 goals in the last 15 minutes and ended up 2-1 as Sulemana stands over this one. Hakeem Sulemana, who had the assist on the game-winning goal last week, plays this ball in. Now here's the head ball, and they score! It's Seth Davidson on the goal for Duluth FC, his 3rd of the season. In addition to the starting lineup, he was actually out of town for Duluth FC last week. That's why he wasn't here. I was told that he was in Colorado when the game was played last week, but they're happy to have him back as he heads that one in, the assist to Sulemana. And Duluth FC takes a 1-0 lead. Beautiful header there by the name of Sartell, Minnesota. Seth Davidson in the far corner over the top of Calvin Smith, and the Blue Greens break out on top, 1-0.
Blue Greens goal! Scored by number 9, Seth Davidson! With the assist from number 7, Hakeem Sulemana! That goal comes in the 4th minute. Davidson from Sulemana for your Blue Greens in the 4th minute.
So as your recap on the goal is now James Owen coming forward here for the Fusion. He goes down looking for the call, none forthcoming from our center referee. And now Kenji Vertil Dorelus, the Canadian for Duluth FC, will play for Magalhaes. Joshua Hatton will play it over the top, left-footed ball, now intended for Caden Green on the wing. Green running right at Jake Cervantes. Heavy touch, allows Wiles to come over, and he'll play it out, and it'll be a Fusion corner kick here, near side flag. Well, Craig, that's a change up from what we saw last week. We waited 82 minutes for our first goal last week. We wait all of 4 minutes here in this playoff semifinal to get our first one this week. And the Blue Greens lead it by a score of 1-0. Again, Davidson, his 3rd of the season, the assist to Hakeem Sulemana. And the corner kick now lined up near side. James Owen will take it here. Took most of the free kicks a week ago for the Fusion as well in that 2-1 Duluth FC victory. And he'll take this one from the near side. Bending ball in. Rising up for it was Motomura. It goes all the way through the box, now to the far side. Yamaguchi, and now the flag goes up. And Green is now upset because he got whistled on the offside. Shaking the finger at the near or the far side ref, and he's already got a yellow card. So our center referee already taking control here, and so we've had a goal and a yellow card so far here in the first nearly 7 minutes of this opening half. So pretty eventful start. Complete opposite of what we had last week when these two teams played. But the playoffs are a different animal, as we all know. And so Warno now will play it short. Here's Wiles. Sending it over the top. Ball's headed down now by Motomura. There's Magalhaes now bringing the ball down. Left-footed cross comes in from Wilson, and off of his line to grab that one in the air is Callum Smith. Smith now throwing it over the top. Wiles touching it away from the onrushing Noah Naus. And now Duluth FC with Nathan Porter on the far side. Magalhaes, and they're going to call a handball on him as the ball popped up. So we will have a free kick here for the Fusion on the far side. Beautiful night for soccer. We haven't had too many of them so far. The opening of the season, it was cold and clammy, I would be the best way I would describe it. The first few home games for the Blue Greens here in 2026, but the weather, yeah, and a lot of storms as well. We had the Twin Ports Cup actually got called off because of the stormy weather. We actually played, 25-30 minutes of that game against Superior City, who are members of the UPSL, but that was about all we got in that night. And Guess we'll give it a go again next year. In the meantime, free kick taken now by the Fusion. Fusion, by the way, handed Duluth FC their lone regular season loss, a 4-2 game. Back on June 24th, that game was played at Jim Gata Field, or Stadium, in Moorhead, Minnesota. On that, the Blue Greens undefeated in the other 9 games during the regular season in the MPSL North. As the ball comes now forward, here's Kenji Vertil-Drelus, losing the handle on that one. Couldn't find it at his feet. Now here's Joshua Hatton. Charlie Wilkening now on the left foot will go all the way back in the middle for Motomura. Now Toya Suzuki on the far side for the Fusion. Playing in the middle now, Kazuya Fukamura. And they try to play forward now. Here's Wilkening coming out, getting a shot away, and Warnell off of his line. Did a nice job there to smother that one. That could have been dangerous had that gone around Warnell. He gambled and won on that one. And it'll go out to the far side now for a Fusion throw in here. Yamaguchi on the throw. Green's calling for it on the backside. Now Yamaguchi on the cross. Wiles comes over and clears it with the left foot. And it'll go into the blue-green bench area. That goal, by the way, the 27th of the season for the Blue Greens. The 18th given up on the season by the Fusion here in 2026 as the throw comes in now. And they'll play it all the way back for Motomura. Near side now, Josh Hatton. Ball forward, looking for Wilkening, and it'll bounce out of play, and it'll be off of Duluth FC. Throw coming up now for the Fusion as we're in the 10th minute here. And Caden Green takes it quickly, tosses it in for Hatton. Both teams spent a lot of the time last week playing it around the back, side to side. It was a very deliberate pace, and so far pretty deliberate here on this sequence for the Fusion as Magnus Davidson playing it to the far side for Owen. Now Motomura continuing it on now for Hatton as they switch the field. Green now trying a turn and go here against Cervantes, and they're going to call a foul on him. He's got that quick first step, does Caden Green. Can make the argument he was the best player on the field for either team last week. Got rewarded with the tying goal. And it'll be a free kick now for the Fusion. Standing over this one is James Owen. Blue Green's going to hold a high line at the 18 here. Man-for-man marking here. Warno, top half of his 6. As Owen lines up this free kick. Woefully underhit it, however. And now back the other way. Here's a Vertil Drelus. Duluth FC looking to counter. Here's Sulemana. Far side, Akeem Sulemana. Stepping inside. Nice tackle out there by Suzuki to break up the play. And Magnus Davidson now sends it into blue-green territory. Here's Joseph Wilson ranging back. Playing it in now. Warno. He'll play it wide now. We don't have any Matt Freezes back there, hopefully, before this game is out. I'll try not to reference that game too much here tonight. Ball to the far side now. Here's Sulemana. Magaleas. Pole size now for Duluth FC. Squaring it. Jake Cervantes. Flick through. Now here's Magaleas off the flick from Seth Davidson, and it's cleared now near side of the field. Wiles. And he'll play it out as Green was pressuring him from behind. It'll be a throw coming up now. And he'll toss it in now for the backside. And Charlie Wilkening. Wilkening playing it back now. Here's Motomura. To the outside now. Suzuki on the right foot. Fusion playing a back 3 here in this one. It's more like a 3-5-2 maybe. 3-4-3. Duluth FC playing a back 4, more of a 4-2-3-1 look for the Blue Greens. That's what they played for most of the season. As Hatton plays this ball over the top, Warno now coming out to the top of the 18, meeting it himself, and he'll grab onto it here. And he'll roll it short now for Jacob Wiles. Wiles, who plays his college soccer across the bridge at Division III UW Superior, will send it outside now. Here is Joseph Wilson. Wilson for Paul Sayas. And the Blue Greens will reset here. Approaching the quarter-hour mark, 1-0 your score. The goal in the 4th minute, Seth Davidson off the free kick from Akeem Sulemana. And Davidson, who was missing from the lineup for the Blue Greens last week, already making a mark in this one. It's 1-0 in favor of Duluth FC. Otomura now. Here's Josh Hatton. Hatton now for Magnus Davidson, who's dropped back. Looking for an angling ball. Yamaguchi. Playing it back now, Suzuki. Kazuya Fukumura on the right foot. Owen runs headlong into Mateus Gomez, and they're going to call a foul on the Brazilian Gomez. It'll be a free kick here for the Fusion as we're into the 15th minute now. And like I said, a good-sized crowd here. And this Wednesday night, why not? Early July. Not a lot of humidity in the air either, which is also a nice thing. Motomura in the back. Now Yamaguchi coming short. Suzuki to the far side. Magnus Davidson. Yamaguchi now playing it forward for Fukumura. Now back for Yamaguchi, trying to cross it in. It goes through the 6. Now Green plays it back across the 18, and nobody there in a yellow shirt. It'll be a Duluth FC throw. Just a couple of balls to each side of the 18, going right through the box. No players on the receiving end of either one of those crosses, and it'll be a throw now for Nathan Porter, the native of Glasgow, Scotland, for Duluth FC. Porter will take the throw here, because we got a good shot of the sky there for a moment. Off the throw, taken by the Fusion. Here's Owen. And now he gets fouled. We'll have a free kick on the far side, 30 yards, maybe 35 yards away from Warno's goal to our left. It's like Owen standing over this on the right foot. Wilkening on the left foot, or is it Hatton? No, Hatton's going in the 18, so left-footed ball comes in, and it bounces through everybody, and they score. Well, that was not great. 17th minute on that goal. I think that's going to be Wilkening unassisted. That's what I'm going to give it as. I don't think anybody got a touch on it. I didn't see a replay. Maybe we'll an eye-opener. Definitely would have thought that Warno should have done better with that one, or at least somebody in the Duluth FC should have done better with that ball. That was just a floater into the box, and nobody in a blue jersey dealt with it. And we have a brand new game now, 1 apiece. Warno. Now Kenji Vertil-Drelu is playing it for Seth Davidson. Davidson against Hatton. And they're going to call a foul on Seth Davidson here for Duluth FC. And Hatton is going to take the time now to adjust his footwear, I guess. So off the restart. Motomura to the far side. Magnus Davidson. Magaleas now trying to step. Now they'll switch the field for Hatton. Wilkening the goal scorer. Turning on his dominant left foot. Now turns it over for Gomez. Sulemana. Vertil Jarelus now. On the far side now it's Nathan Porter. That goal, by the way, for the Fusion, their 25th this season and the 10th that the Blue Greens have given up here in 2026. Vertil Jarelus. Now the Blue Greens going to play a little bit of possession here in a 1-1 contest. 20th minute. Paul Saez. Gomez. Now Wilson. Wiles on the right foot. Wilson now clipping it over the top. Flag goes up. Offside on Magaleas. We'll have a free kick now coming up for the Fusion. And Suzuki starts it quickly. Now Motomura for Josh Hatton near side. Hatton's ball over the top. Cervantes popping it up with the head, now selling with the right foot. And the Blue Greens will restart here. Saez will square it to the far side. Porter now laying it back for Wilson. Now Gomez. Left-footed ball over the top. Seth Davidson against Hatton. Now he pops it straight up in the air, and it'll come out of play for Duluth FC throw. Near sideline, throw coming up, taken by Cervantes. Mateus Valsecchi has started a lot of the season, the bulk of the season on the right outside, but Cervantes getting the start for the second straight game here. Valsecchi available as a reserve tonight. And Cervantes off the throw now for Seth Davidson. Back for Cervantes. Saez clips it in toward the 6. It's headed away. Now Owen fighting along with Magaleas for the ball, and that's going to be a foul on Joao Magaleas. Free kick here coming up. Approaching the halfway mark of this first 45. 1 goal apiece. Seth Davidson for Duluth FC and Charlie Welkening for Dakota Fusion in this MPSL North Conference playoff semifinal contest here from Walt Hunting Stadium. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast wherever you may be watching from. Caden Green now coming back. Meanwhile for the Fusion, Magnus Davidson to the far side. And now continuing his run is Owen. Got tangled up with Joseph Wilson, who heads it back for Warno. And now he rolls it near side. Here's Jacob Wiles. Gomez. Porter headed back now by Seth Davidson. Now Gomez clipping over the top, looking for Magaleas on the run into the 18. Magaleas tried to lay it back for Gomez. Too light of a touch there, and the Fusion turn it back now with Owen. And this one will come into the 18, and it'll be grabbed here by Callum Smith, and he'll hold on to it. Hatton playing in the middle. Fukumura switching to field far side. Fukumura getting the return pass, now coming back toward midfield. Green now turning here for the Fusion. Now ball through the middle, Warno. We'll let it come back into his own 18. He'll roll it now for Joseph Wilson. And a roll for Jacob Wiles. The two Englishmen playing it back and forth here. As Wilson will give it a ride with the left foot now, far side of the field. Motomura heading it up in the air. Now Hatton in the middle of his own 18 will give it a ride with the left foot. And that one well out of play, far side for a Duluth FC throw. Porter off the throw. Taken now by the Fusion. Motomura coming forward. Magnus Davidson, the team captain for the Fusion. Now they'll play it all the way back. Kazuya Fukumura. Now Hatton on the left foot. Cuts inside against Sulemana. Leaves it for Owen. Angling ball far side looking for Green. Headed away now by Porter. And Bertil Drelus for Duluth FC will play for Sias. And now it'll be Duluth FC's turn to try to play it from the back. Good pick out there by Gomez. And they're going to call the foul here on Toya Suzuki. Could have gone either way on that one. Call Suzuki for grabbing Bertil Drelus on the right arm, so it'll be a free kick here for the Blue Greens, about 40 yards away from goal to our left. Or, excuse me, to our right. Taken quickly by Magalhaes. Paul Sias. Sulemana. Seth Davidson. Davidson's touch takes a deflection now off of Cervantes and off of his line. Alertly was Smith to grab that ball. 27th minute now here from Walt Hunting Stadium. 1 goal apiece remains the score here. Expected it to be pretty tight here tonight. Wilkening playing it back now for Hatton. Motomura now to the far side. Davidson playing it back. Now Magalhaes takes possession for Duluth FC. Gomez. Wiles now. For Sulemana. Back outside Joseph Wilson. Magalhaes' ball through the middle. Intercepted now by Davidson, and a chance to counter here for the Fusion. Here's Caden Green. Flag stays down, coming in on the left side, Noah Naus. Now he has to slow up. Plays it for Yamaguchi. Playing in the middle now, looking for Fukumura. Ball gets cleared away, going down now, Fukumura. Wilkening. Stepping through a couple players. Charlie Wilkening still going. Tried to play it into the 6. Duluth FC struggling to clear it. Now up the middle. Green playing it for Owen. And now Wilson will send it forward for Seth Davidson. Paul Sias now for Duluth FC. Squares to the outside now for team captain Nathan Porter. Now Kenji Bertil Drelus for the Blue Greens. Now Gomez. Cervantes making a run on the wing. Tried to force it down the middle for Sulemana instead. Now comes right back for Gomez. Switching the field for Porter, far side. Sias now. Bertil Drelus clipping over the top. Sulemana will run this one down in the corner, and it'll be poked out of play. And it'll be a deep throw here now for the Blue Greens in the corner, Cervantes. The California native looks like he'll be the one to take it here for the Blue Greens as we're approaching the half-hour mark here. Cervantes off the throw. And we'll have a foul called on Duluth FC. Well, they're going to call a foul throw. Don't see that very often. Picked up his back foot. I was about to say, I didn't see a foul there. Well, yeah, Cervantes didn't keep his back pivot foot, so it'll be a throw now coming up for the Fusion. Wilkening, who's had a good first half here for the Fusion, will take the toss. And for Naus. Gomez now will go all the way back, and here's Joseph Wilson. Wilson, Paul Saez. Still holding on to the ball, drawing 3 defenders. Sulemana. Now Davidson, Seth Davidson. Gomez. Now for Saez, flag stays down. Saez crossing it in to the 6th. Got deflected, now back up the middle. Here's Porter. Nathan Porter's shot, and that'll be deflected out. It goes out off of Suzuki. It'll be a corner kick for the Blue Greens. Their first of the match comes in the 31st minute. And the leading scorer for Duluth FC, Joao Magalhaes, with the same number of goals as his jersey number. 11 on the season. We'll go over and take this one. Duluth FC scored off of a free kick earlier in the half. That was how the Blue Greens scored their goal. Magalhaes will play it short. Vertil Durelus now back for Magalhaes. All 11 behind the ball now for the Fusion. Gomez flipping it over the top. Cervantes. First time touch to the middle, and it'll be cleared well out of play here by Hatton. Another corner kick here for the Blue Greens. Looks like a little confusion on the clearing attempt there for the Fusion.
Here comes another Blue Greens corner kick driven by Volkswagen of Duluth.
Blue Greens went short with their first corner. Sulemana and Porter standing over this one. Blue Greens bunching in the 6. Now they play to the top. Magalhaes gets a shot away off the volley and leaves it high over the bar. That's a set play, by the way. Magalhaes with his first real look at goal here. And a goal kick coming up now for Callum Smith in the Fusion in the 32nd minute. Off the restart now, it's Hatton left side. Fukamura. Now Suzuki. Playing over the top, looking for Yamaguchi, who's making a run up the wing. Able to keep it in by tight roping the sideline. Now ball in the middle, looking for Caden Green. Green on the turn. Turning again. A little bit of a heavy touch. Size takes over. Now Sulemana. Playing it back for Cervantes. Wilson to the far side now. It's Nathan Porter. Game has settled in here a bit. As Wilson lifts this ball over the top. Davidson on the far side. Motomura will just head it away from him. It'll be a throw coming up now for the Blue Greens. It'll be Joao Magalhaes that'll take it. Oh. Let me correct myself. It'll be Nathan Porter that'll take it. Vertil Durelus now for the Blue Greens. Turning on the right foot. Laying it off now. Paul Saez, the Spaniard. Now into the middle. Here's Gomez. Cervantes on the right foot. Sulemana looking for the run of Cervantes. Gomez bending a ball. Looking for Cervantes on the backside. Hatton able to clear it with the left foot. Owen now with the head ball. Taken by Gomez. Has Porter. Porter with the touch. Behind Seth Davidson. Now Gomez again. Turning to Sulemana. Akeem Sulemana tried to make one move too many. Now he gets it right back. Sulemana taking off his foot. Now Saez. Pull Saez now. Didn't do too much. And now here's Green taking over. Yamaguchi, and it's going to be cleared away. Quick throw now taken by Naus. Looking for Yamaguchi, and it'll go out of play. Corner kick coming up now for the Fusion. Both goals, by the way, coming off of set pieces here so far, one each way. Blue Green Seth Davidson with a well-placed header off of the ball from Akeem Sulemana, and Charlie Wilkening with a bouncing ball that nobody dealt with. And a blue jersey just bounced right in the side goal, side of the Duluth FC goal on the left side. And that's where we stand here in the 35th minute with a corner kick here coming up for the Fusion. It'll be James Owen, number 11 in yellow, to take it here, near side flag. Bending ball into the 6, headed off of the crossbar. Great look there by Naus. And the Fusion that close to taking the lead, hit it square. So a bit of a let off there for Duluth FC, and now back the other direction, the Blue Greens. And this ball over the top of Magalhaes, who tumbles over as it goes out of play. I haven't heard much so far from Noah Naus, but he got a good contact on that one. Duluth FC not marking him up as he came through the middle and hit it square off the bar. And the Fusion that close to taking a 2-1 lead, but we remain at a goal apiece. Hatton now for Fukumura. Now Owen on the far side. Continuing on now for Suzuki. Davidson. Now Kazuya Fukumura coming back here for the Fusion on the far side. Owen coming forward. Owen will go down and he'll draw a foul. Got sandwiched by Paul Saez and Nathan Porter, so a free kick on the far side now for the Fusion in the 37th minute. This is approximately the same spot that Wilkening scored the goal from, so see if Duluth FC handles this one a little bit better. Wilkening will take it. Same looking ball coming in. This time it is Seth Davidson getting head to it for the Blue Greens to the far side. Naus will run it down and play it back for Wilkening. Wilkening now spinning. Bertil Durelus. Sulemana will square it now. Lots of space here near side for Cervantes. Back for Sulemana. Got a couple of runners. Doing it on now. Cervantes on the run. Hatton coming over and will cut it off. Now Fukumura into the middle. Magnus Davidson. And now here's Owen. Wilkening. Wilson, Warno coming well out of his own 18, and he'll give it a ride, and this one will go out of play far side. Going down in a heap on that far side. Looks like it might be Naus. It's down here for the Fusion. He's wary when the keepers come out like that. It's going to be a heavy collision, and it is Naus that is down. That'll give both teams now a chance for a bit of a water break here as Christy Wilkie will attend to Noah Naus down to our left. That'll give me a chance to ask Mr. Morrissey what he thinks of this World Cup so far. Craig, what do you think? Have you been impressed with what you've seen so far from the teams? Other than the U.S. in that last game against Belgium?
We won't talk about that one. But all in all,
it's been a great tournament, really.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's been such a joy to watch.
Yeah, I would agree.
Visitors' reactions to the U.S. because as you see a few all over social media, like this is not what they expected.
Yeah.
Here, so I think it's great.
Yeah, it's been a really fun tournament so far. The stars have shown up for the most part, I think.
Yeah, fantastic games.
Yeah.
The U.S. ones
And they played well up until that last game, but.
Yeah. Got a lot of people excited. 40 million tuned in the last
Yeah, I think it's the most ever for a soccer broadcast. And, now we're in the business end of the tournament. 8 teams remaining. And do you have a favorite, Craig?
I mean, how do you not go against Argentina? But boy, I tell you, the teams that are in it yet are fantastic.
Yeah, all 8 teams that are in there are well deserving of being there where they are. Yeah.
If they're not stars already, they soon will be.
Yes, very much so. I don't think I've seen as much attacking talent as one team as I've seen on that French squad. That French team is just, they're loaded with offensive stars. There's 6, 7, 8 guys that are elite level players on that squad, offensively at the very least. And of course, Lionel Messi doing his thing. It's been a fun tournament. I will say though, my goal of the tournament, and I talked to you about this off air, that second goal by Cape Verde in the Argentina game was a thing of beauty. Hard to hit a ball much better than that. And the cool thing, he's going to be a hero now in Cape Verde for the rest of his life, which is because of that goal. So, anyway, it looks like Naus is off the field now, and get back to live action here as we're technically in the 41st minute, but it's going to add probably a minute and a half or so of stoppage time here. And I think we're going to it should be a throw, I think, for the Fusion right near midfield, if I'm remembering this correctly. And there's still conversation happening. So maybe we're not going to get back to live action here right away. Yeah, it looks like Naus is not going to be able to continue. I mean, he is really behind the Duluth FC bench. He is really favoring an ankle over there, and I'm guessing, like I said, he's done. So they're going to have to make an early sub here. Too bad for Naus. He was that close to giving the Fusion the lead, and then a collision with Warneau on that clearing ball, and yeah, he is really favoring that ankle on that far side. So hopefully he's not going to miss too much of his college season with that. Otherwise, the Fusion have to play 10 on 11, so you don't want to do that. So they're going to make an early sub here. It's going to be Thomas Houghton that's going to come in for Naus. Yeah. As the throw comes in, Yamaguchi with the flick over the top, and then Wilson plays it out for another throw. I like to see that, especially this close to the fall season. I mean, it's still a good 6-7 weeks out, but ankles are fickle, and so it could be.
That looks like it might be his knee, though.
Yeah, knee, ankle, something was definitely not right there. Now an angling ball. Skims off the foot of Wiles. It'll come back into the 18 for Warneau. Cervantes now for Duluth FC coming forward.
Substitution in for Naus, number 10, Thomas Houghton.
Here's Wiles now coming forward. Mateus Gomez for the Blue Greens. Clips it over the top now. Here's Jake Cervantes. Cervantes on the same page with Davidson. Now turn back. Here's Houghton getting his first touch. He gets squeezed by Gomez and Cervantes, and it'll be a free kick here in the 43rd minute. 2 goals up on the board. The two teams pretty equal here so far for the most part. Not all that dissimilar to what we saw a week ago, although the tempo of the game is much quicker here so far tonight. Fukumura, by the way, will take this free kick. Gives it back now for Motomura in the middle. Now back for Fukumura. Outside now, Toya Suzuki. Now back in the middle now, Fukumura. Turning is Houghton. Now Yamaguchi on the wing. Takuto Yamaguchi trying to go wide against Nathan Porter. Tripped over the ball. Left it behind, and now it's taken back by the Blue Greens. Here's Sulemana. He'll turn it right back. Fukumura. Charlie Wilkening, the goal scorer here for the Fusion, will play it all the way back. Motomura for Owen. Now Houghton in the middle. Wilkening on the left foot. Wilkening again. Owen coming forward. Outside, Caden Green. Into the Blue Greens 18. Wiles takes it. Warnell will clear it near side. Seth Davidson waiting for it to settle. Seth Davidson now. Kenji Vertil Dure loose will switch the field or try to. Hit it right to Suzuki. Now Motomura. Back outside now, Hatton. Approaching the 45-minute mark. Even up one apiece. Now back for Callum Smith. Motomura now to the far side. Suzuki. Now ball flipped over the top. Here's James Owen. Giving it a ride now. Fukumura into the 18. Warnell now hooking it over the top. Cervantes. Seth Davidson, heavy touch in the middle. Takes him right into Fukumura. And now the Fusion take it right back. Here's Davidson. Magnus Davidson. Team captain for the Fusion. We've now completed the first 45 minutes. We'll see how much extra time there will be. I'm guessing about 2 minutes maybe. That's Hatton on the left foot. Angles the ball far side, under hit it, looking for Yamaguchi, headed away by Porter. Suzuki now flicking it over the top. Now Porter again taking a stab at it, pops it into the air. Seth Davidson waiting for it to settle. And now Magnus Davidson taking him down for a free kick here for the Blue Greens. On the stroke of halftime here, Duluth FC 1, Dakota Fusion FC 1 in this NPSL North Conference semifinal matchup here under beautiful conditions here in Duluth. And now foul on Cervantes. He's been whistled for a couple, and now he's going to get at least a talking to here from our center referee. And the next one, he's going to get a card, I think, on this one. Wilkening will restart here. Motomura now to the far side. Fukumura, Suzuki. And this ball to the far side now goes over the top of Yamaguchi. Wilson for the Blue Greens, now leaving it. Here's Jacob Wiles. Hitting it over the top. Davidson now flicking it outside with the head. Running it down now, Sulemana in the corner. Giving it out on top. Here's the shot by Gomez. In on goal. Bobbled momentarily by Smith, but he grabs it before Seth Davidson could get there for the rebound. Gomez giving it a try from about 20 yards out. Not a bad look for the Brazilian. And like I said, Smith had a little bit of a problem with it at the start there. But able to collect himself. Now to the far side is James Owen here for the Fusion. Over the top looking for the on-running Yamaguchi. Joseph Wilson clears it away, and we'll have a throw near midfield here for the Fusion. Halftime coming in a mere seconds, I would think, here. Gomez now taking over for the Blue Greens. And that one out of play off of Owen. It'll be a throw here. Porter taking it. Here's Paul Sayas. Wiles. Looks like the two teams are going to be somewhat content to maybe go in the locker room. Even at a goal apiece. Adjustments to be made, of course, at the break. Sulemana in the middle. Here's Kenji Vertil Durelus for Duluth FC. Paul Sayas. Sulemana flicking it on. Nice run there by Sayas, coming up the wing. Crossing it in. Trying to get ahead to it with Seth Davidson. Now cleared back near side. Winning the race to it was Wilkening. And now here's Caden Green coming back. He's had a quiet first half, but he takes this ball back. And now he draws the foul on Mateus Gomez. There'll be a free kick here coming up. Kazuya Fukumura takes it quickly. Owen, Fukumura. And that is how the opening 45 minutes will end. So, 45 minutes down. Nothing settled yet. 2 goals up on the board, 1 each way. Duluth FC opening the scoring in the 4th minute. Seth Davidson, his 3rd this season. Off an assist from Akeem Sulemana. And then the Dakota Fusion FC goal coming in the 17th minute. 13 minutes later, Charlie Wilkening unassisted off of a free kick on the far side. And that's where we stand here at the break. Your score 45 minutes into this MPSL North Conference playoff semifinal here at the break. Your score, Duluth FC 1, Dakota Fusion FC 1. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back with the start of the second half in about 15 minutes. This is Duluth FC Soccer, sponsored by Spira St. Luke's, VW Duluth, and Sears Aircraft here on the iFan Sports Network.
Clyde Iron Restaurant, Sears Aircraft.
Better begins with the way we see each other. Better begins with the way we treat each other. Better begins with the way we care for each other. Better begins at Aspirus Health, bringing out the better in all of us.
Matt Johnson alongside my production engineer, Craig Morrissey, back here at Walt Hunting Stadium in Marv Heikkinen Field, ready for the second half of this one. Should be a dandy. Duluth FC and Dakota Fusion FC in this MPSL North Conference playoff semifinal. Tied to the goal apiece. Seth Davidson, the goal scorer for Duluth FC, his third of the season from Akeem Sulemana in the 4th minute. And Charlie Wilkening unassisted in the 17th minute for the Fusion, and that's where we stand, one apiece. And, of course, if we're still even up after the full 90, we'll go to 30 minutes of extra time, and then if it gets that far, we'll also go into the dreaded PKs, which we've seen already in the World Cup a few times, but that's what's on the docket here if things stay as they are. In the meantime, off the opening kick here in the second 45 minutes, Duluth FC sends it in deep. Here's Mateus Gomez. Interesting first half between the two teams. Duluth FC striking first, Dakota Fusion then coming back with the unassisted goal from Wilkening, and then the header by Noah Naus, who unfortunately had to go out of the game with an injury off the crossbar. Those were basically our scoring opportunities in the first half, and other than that, it was, I'd say, pretty cagey here between the two teams as Akeem Sulemana. And now here's a ball over the top. Seth Davidson turns it to shot away, and he scores! It was a turnover by the Fusion deep in their own end. Sulemana had it momentarily. Then he turned it over, and it was Kenji Vertil Dorelus who finds Seth Davidson, who roofs it over the top of Callum Smith. His 4th goal of the season, his 2nd of the contest, and the Blue Greens lead it by the score now of 2-1. So credit Kenji Vertil Dorelus with the assist on that one. Just those little touches sometimes that get you in trouble, and the early turnover, and Duluth FC takes a 2-1 lead here in the first minute of half number 2. So now we'll see if the Fusion can come back from a goal down for the second time here tonight. In the meantime, the Blue Greens now playing it on the far side. Here's Jacob Wiles. Wiles hitting it over the top. Looking for Vertil Dorelus. And Callum Smith off his line will grab that one. That's a heck of a way to start the second half. So the Blue Greens scoring both of their goals early stages of the two halves. Davidson with his first of the night in the 4th minute of the first half. And then here in the 46th minute, Davidson with his second from Kenji Vertil Dorelus. Yeah, like I said, that little giveaway by the Fusion, 20 yards away from goal.
Duluth FC Blue Greens goal! Second of the game for number 9, Seth Davidson. An assist on the goal for number 10, Kenji Vertil Dorelus. That goal comes in the 46th minute. Davidson, his second. From Vertil Dorelus for your Blue Greens in the 46th minute.
Goal number 28 on the season for the Blue Greens. And the surrendered goal number 19 on the season now for the Fusion as Nathan Porter with the toss in. Sulemana. Polisai is now for Duluth FC. Blue Greens looking for their 7th win of the season, by the way. Angling ball now from Wiles, gets knocked away on the far side. Charlie Wilkening, the goal scorer for the Fusion, and now they'll play it for Joshua Hatton. In the middle now for Rico Motomura. And the Fusion will start to build from the back here. Fukumura. Magnus Davidson now for James Owen, now for Caden Green, and a nice read there by Pole Sides to take it off of his foot, and they'll go all the way back forward, no, top of the 18. I have a feeling this game's going to come down to little mistakes here and there between the two sides. We just saw one from the Fusion. Duluth FC made a mistake on the ball in the box from Charlie Wilkening in the first half. Two teams pretty well matched up, pretty even in terms of skill level, I would say. Like I said, the difference is going to come down to little plays here and there. You get a feeling before this full 90 and perhaps extra time is up. In the meantime, Joseph Wilson now ending the ball near side, and he overshot Nathan Porter. And it'll be a throw now coming for Toa Suzuki. Suzuki tosses it in. Here's Joshua Hatton. Motomura now outside for Suzuki. Toa Suzuki lifting it for Caden Green. That one, heavy touch from him. He's had a quiet night. Was very active a week ago when these two teams played, but Caden Green unhappy with himself on that touch. You could tell by his body language and by the look on his face. As Wiles will go all the way back now for Warno. Now Wilson giving a ride over the top. Looking for Davidson. Now Magaleas, who's also had a quiet night. And he comes barreling in. Had a heavy touch. And now both Magaleas and that player on the far side are down here. Joel Magaleas had a very, and he's going to get a yellow card, by the way, is Magaleas. First Duluth FC player with a yellow tonight. He had a very quiet game for the most part also against the Fusion a week ago before he scored the game winner. Then he suffered a cramp in his left calf before leaving the game. It was sort of a bittersweet, I guess, for Joel Magaleas. Talk about Magaleas, his second year with the Blue Greens. Didn't play as much last year as he wanted to for the Blue Greens, and came back this year, missed the first couple of games, and he's been on his goal-scoring tear ever since then. 11 goals for him. As I mentioned earlier on, that gives him a tie for third in the entire MPSL, all 50 or 60 teams in the league, in national goal scoring. Led the MPSL North. Caden Green, number 6 in yellow here for the Fusion, by the way, finished second. And Takuto Yamaguchi, number 20 in yellow for the Fusion, finished with 7. Those are your top 3 goal scorers in the conference this year. So the 3 top goal scorers in the MPSL North for the season are all on this field here tonight. Player down, by the way, was Charlie Wilkening on that far side, and now he is on his way over to the training table. Hopefully he'll get back in sooner rather than later. About to go in the 53rd minute here. 2-1 your score. Duluth FC in the lead. Seth Davidson. Both goals for the Blue Greens. He now has 4 on the campaign. And I think we're going to have, they called a foul on that play, so it should be a free kick here. And Josh Hatton will take it here for the Fusion. Toa Suzuki now on the right foot, plays it short. Magnus Davidson. And almost swing it to the far side of the field. Good read there by Kenji Vertil-Drelus, who had the assist on Davidson's second a few moments ago. Vertil-Drelus now losing it. And it'll go out of play. It'll be a throw here coming up for the Fusion right in front of the blue-green bench. Will Meinstrom in his first season with the Blue Greens. The assistant coach for UW Superior head coach Joe Mooney after completing his playing career for the Yellow Jackets. Helped lead the UW Superior to 4 straight NCAA tournaments in the midst of a run for UW Superior now. They've made 8 in a row for their 9th straight coming up this fall. As here's Hatton now with the left-footed pass up the middle, getting it for Kazuya Fukumura. Now turning here is Wilkening, who's back in the game. His pass to the outside, picked off there by Jake Cervantes, who's had a good night at the right outside back position for the Blue Greens here tonight. Now heavy touch from Sulemana. Here comes James Owen. And Owen to the far side. He'll play it back now. Here's Wilkening again. Turning it over now. Gomez. Sulemana. Porter making the run now through the middle. And Joao Magaleas. And now he'll be perfectly happy to stand up here and take a little time. Magalhaes now into the middle. Wiles, Cervantes, Gomez. Now back outside for Jacob Wiles. Wiles laying it short now. Here's Gomez. Blue Greens being patient here in the 55th minute, leading it 2-1 as Paul Saez. Now Magalhaes. Mateus Gomez. Playing it nicely back behind. Here's Magalhaes. The shot save is made by Smith. And it played away here by Hatton. Nice patience build up. Good run that time by Magalhaes on the right side. And a save there for Smith. Keep it at 2-1. Joseph Wilson now for the Blue Greens coming forward. Now he gets a shot away, and it wasn't far away, actually. Wide of the near side post, but that was a good 30 yards out for Joseph Wilson. Decided to give it a ride with that left foot of his. Had a bit of a knuckling action to it and short hopped the side netting. So asking a couple of questions here to the Blue Greens in the second half, and already up 2-1. Here's Suzuki. Playing it through the middle now for Fukumura. Suzuki. Their team has been pressing high here so far tonight, but a lot of possession for the back lines of both teams. As Hatton now lifts the ball over the top. Looking for Yamaguchi. And Yamaguchi, they're going to call a handball here on Jacob Wiles, about 25 yards away from goal, so a good spot here. And I think Yamaguchi's asking for either a yellow card or a red card here on Wiles. I'd be surprised if he gives that one. And it'll be a free kick. Wilkening will stand over this one. Owen standing over on the right foot. Wilkening now is going to beg off, so it looks like it'll be Owen who will take it. Two-player wall. Blue Greens holding a line. About 17, 18 yards away from Warno's goal to our right. Owen standing over this one, 57th minute. Could be a big moment in the game here. Owen goes right for goal and just misses wide. Tried to go up and down, went to the left. Not far away, a good strike there. Had some up and down action to it. Couldn't get the bend he wanted, though, and then still 2-1 in favor of the Blue Greens. Wilson now, here's Magalhaes. Gomez turning. Paul Saez now. And he'll send it wide now. Here's Sulemana. Hakeem Sulemana, inside out move now on the step over. Magalhaes. Ball well behind the intended recipient. Turnover Blue Greens, and then the pass from Owen. Nowhere near Caden Green. He was trying to get wide. And Warno now will clip it over the top, near side. Porter in the middle for Magalhaes. And the Blue Greens go all the way back. Warno back for Porter. Scotsman playing it forward now. Here is Sulemana. Porter went down. He's asking for a foul call. None forthcoming. And the throw comes in now, Magalhaes. Cervantes. Magalhaes now back for Joseph Wilson. Lifts the ball now looking for Seth Davidson. Headed away there by Motomura. And now we're going to have a foul call to Suzuki hits the deck, and we're going to have a foul on Cervantes now, who had been warned in the first half, and now he'll get a yellow. So he goes into the book. So Magalhaes and Cervantes with yellow cards for the Blue Greens. Meanwhile, Caden Green has a yellow here for the Fusion tonight. Approaching the final half hour here. Two to 1 your score. Suzuki. Playing it for Motomura. Now back for Suzuki. Fukumura. Motomura to the far side for Hatton. Lifts it over the top. Looking for Yamaguchi. Takuto Yamaguchi on the far side. And ran out of real estate. Here's Wiles now for the Blue Greens. Coming a long ride over midfield. Onomura going over the top of Magaleas to win it with the head ball. Now Suzuki. And Green about 15 yards offside. I'm not quite sure if he didn't realize where he was or if he was just late getting back into the play. And we'll have a free kick now for the Blue Greens. I think that's about the most offside we've seen anybody this season, Craig. I don't think he was, what did you say, about 10 yards off maybe? Now Joseph Wilson will take the free kick, left-footed ball, far side. Met by Wilkening. Yamaguchi, good tackle there by Paul Sayas for the Blue Greens, and now they'll take possession with Wilson. Porter touching it outside now. Here's Sulemana. Keem Sulemana with those quick feet. Not quick enough on that occasion as Houghton took it off of his foot. Now Owen. Suzuki. Vertil Duray loose for the Blue Greens, and now he'll play it back. Cervantes playing on the yellow, goes to the outside now for Paul Sayas. Wiles now. Vertil Duray does well to pick out Nathan Porter. Porter coming forward. A footed ball toward the top of the 18. Magaleas went off of his, I think, more of his shoulder than his chest. I think he was going to try to bring that down and get a shot away. Just a heavy touch. Now Wiles will win it. He'll head it wide. Wilkening will let it go out. It'll be a throw here for the Fusion. 62nd minute. If you're just joining us, Duluth FC, both goals for the Blue Greens tonight from Seth Davidson. His third and fourth of the season, coming in the 4th and 46th minute. Charlie Wilkening with the Fusion goal in between in the 17th minute, and that's where we stand. Under a half hour left in the 90 here. As this ball down over the top, Yamaguchi trying to settle it. Wilson comes down, and now we're going to have a foul called, and another yellow card. This one on Wiles. And they bring the ball back now. Looks like they're going to set up shop on a free kick about 30, 35 yards away from goal here. Game is settled in here. Very tactical here. It's been tactical basically all night. Teams bunching together here. Wilkening on the left foot, Owen on the right foot. Wilkening looks like he's going to take it. He'll lift it now near side. Two Blue Greens come together. Neither one of them got a good head to it, but Warno was off of his line, able to grab that one. Rolls it for Mateus Gomez, and Gomez now, the Brazilian, coming toward the midfield stripe. Pass for Yamaguchi. That was intercepted. And now Yamaguchi is down. Duluth FC not required to stop play because it's not to the head. Anything to the head requires an immediate stoppage. That's the rule. Yamaguchi trying to draw the foul, I think, on that one more than anything else. And now he goes right after Porter, and that should be an automatic yellow. Yeah, that was... Came in with the elbow up. That was a frustration play from Takuto Yamaguchi, and now he's going to get a red. Wasn't happy he didn't get the foul call. Went in high on the Duluth FC captain, and then he let his temper get the best of him. And now the Fusion will play down a man. Just one of those plays where he didn't need to do that. Got the double yellow, and Yamaguchi is out of this game. Yeah, he got up, went barreling into Nathan Porter from behind with the elbow up. Wasn't a super vicious hit, but it was definitely a card, and then he said the wrong thing to the referee. And now the fourth official explaining it also to Yamaguchi. He's going to have to leave the area here. He's going to have to go back to the locker room. Saw that happen earlier in the year with Roy Nozawa for the Blue Greens, where Just kind of lose your head there for a second, Craig, and that's all it takes. Not only that, he taking out one.
With some looks. Just don't get away with words.
Yeah. And Yamaguchi's night is over. And now the Fusion are up against it, down 2-1. Duluth FC has a man advantage now, assuming no more Reds, and the situation is much more difficult now for the Fusion. Fouls his ball near side, headed away now by Suzuki, and here's Owen. Owen coming forward, stripped by Bertil Drealus. Now here's Magalhaes. Joao Magalhaes trying to dance through, still has it at his foot. Bertil Drealus outside now, Sulemana. Sulemana turns, gets a shot away in toward the 6. Blocked out there by Motomura. And now here's Porter. Gomez. Saez now going to the far side. Here's Cervantes. Wilkening tried to grab him. Play goes on. Ball across the top of the 18, and now it's picked off, and now a long ball over top looking for Green. And headed away now by Wilson. Well, this changes the equation a bit here. Here's the throw in now, Motomura. And they're going to call a foul throw. Yep. It's the second time we've seen that call tonight. That's a call you don't see real often at this level, Craig, but that's 2 tonight so far. Good eyes by Craig Morrissey to say, yep, he picked up his back foot. Can't do that. And now an offside against Seth Davidson. One each way, by the way, on the foul throws tonight. I will tell you this, as a former player myself, you never want to be called for a foul throw. That's not a good sign. There's certain things you will take. A foul throw is not one of them. At least from a personal ego standpoint. In the meantime, here's Magnus Davidson now for the Fusion. Wilkening turning central. It's ball to the outside now. And that'll be cleared away here by Porter. 67th minute. Duluth FC leading at 2-1, but the really big subplot here is the double yellow card to Takuto Yamaguchi, who, if I had to classify that, now he just lost his head on that, Craig. That was the reason for the red, and he said that does happen. Flag is up now as Owen is offside. It looked innocuous enough, but then...
I mean, that was a hard play, though, too. So
yeah.
He just took exception.
Off the restart. Duluth FC now playing up a man, 11-on-10, and up by a goal at 2-1. Here's Paul Saez. Joseph Wilson now on the left foot. Wilson. Give it a ride to the far side. Will Mindstrom, Duluth FC coach, applauding that ball. Then Bertil Drealus tried to flick it to nobody in particular, and now here's Green again, well offside. Wasn't as far offside this time as he was the last time, but he was still a good 3-4 yards off on that one.
He is fast.
He is. I like Caden Green's game. He's very slippery, good with his feet, and can finish. We know that. He had 9 goals during the regular season. And he's going to have to do it almost by himself now, as his running mate Yamaguchi, who plays on that left wing, generally speaking, is out because of the red card. Cervantes now. And now Hatton into the back of Seth Davidson. And we talked about Hatton last week. Good 6'5", 6'6" would be my guess on his height. Davidson at 6'2". But Seth Davidson very physically, I don't want to say imposing, but very mature for a 19-year-old. Scored 15 goals and had 8 assists at Davidson for UW Superior as they made their 8th straight NCAA tournament. And for a true freshman to lead that team in scoring is something, so that gives you an idea of the kind of level that Seth Davidson plays at. And now another yellow card to somebody on the bench, might be the head coach. And I think tempers are getting a little frayed here. Yeah, it's a one-goal game here. We still have 20 minutes plus extra time here to go, so it's not over. Not by a long shot. But yeah, sure.
News crew's been here. I think she's got the whole game on that.
She does. She was here for the last game, too, on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I should say.
Should say welcome to the Northland, new sports reporter.
She's getting a nice baptism tonight. Porter, by the way, standing over this one on the left foot. Meanwhile, it's Sulemana on the right foot. And it's Sulemana and lifting it toward the back post. I think that was a shot all the way. I'm not sure he was trying to go and anywhere but towards goal there. Duluth FC getting ready to make a substitution. Looks like Cervantes is going to come out, and I'm guessing it's Mateus Valsecki, and it is, who will come in and play on that right side now. He started most of the year for the Blue Greens at the right outside back position. And he comes in here for Cervantes, who had a nice night. Ball forward now for Green. Playing it toward the 18, Warno off of his line. He'll let this one roll.
Blue Green substitution in for Cervantes, number 2, Mateus Valsecki.
Here's Gomez, who's had a nice night. Handling the ball over the top, looking for Seth Davidson. Otamura there to take him off the ball, and now Suzuki goes down. He was looking for a foul call, and it's been a well-refereed game, I think, for the most part, Craig. I haven't really had any issues with the refereeing tonight, which is nice in a playoff game for sure. Here's Magaleas, by the way, and Suzuki unable to keep that ball in. Porter will take the throw. Gomez. Far side now, Paul Saez. Now Valsecki about to get his first touch of the game. Off for Sulemana. Sulemana, edge of the 18, laying it back. Gomez turns, gets a shot away, and it's knocked away. Nice save by Smith. Good look there for the Brazilian Gomez. 20, 25 yards out. He's had a good night tonight, Mateus Gomez. And it'll be a corner kick here for the Blue Greens in the 72nd minute. Again, the winner here advances to play the winner of the other semifinal between Siouxland United and Minnesota Blizzard FC. If Blizzard wins that game, it'll be right back here on Saturday. And if the Outlaws win that game, it'll be down in Sioux City, Iowa. In the meantime, here's Magaleas clipping it over the top. Head up in the air. A couple players rising for it. Now here's Seth Davidson. Davidson, who has both goals for the Blue Greens, will draw a corner kick far side. He's on hat trick watch. Porter will go over and take the corner kick.
Another Blue Greens corner kick driven by Volkswagen of Duluth.
Porter will take it with the left foot here. It'll be an in-swinger. Blue Greens, 5 players around the 6. And this one comes in. Good grab there by Smith, and he'll hold on to it. He'll give it a ride to the far side looking for Green. Catches him in the ankle, and now Size will go all the way back for Warno. Warno lifting it near side. Suzuki went up trying to get the ball. Now Sulemana. Magaleas, who's very dangerous in the box as we know. Trying to take it in deep. Ran out of room, though. Hatton came over to meet him. Sulemana giving up about 7 or 8 inches in that matchup, and just a heavy touch there from Magaleas, who, like I said, has been quiet tonight. But as we've seen this season, he can spring to life in the blink of an eye here. Here's Motomura now off the restart. Magnus Davidson, team captain for the Fusion, coming back. He'll take the pass. Now Wilkening. Now ball for Green, got past him. Like I said, Duluth FC's done a nice job on him tonight. Wiles, Magaleas, pitching it forward. Now Hatton will pop it up into the air. Green trying to turn. Gomez. Well, Green's also got to be careful. He got a yellow card in the first couple minutes tonight. Wiles angling a ball, looking for Porter. And James Owen will head it back now for Callum Smith, who will grab it off the bounce. James Owen now feeding it back now for Rico Matamura. Magnus Davidson. James Owen. Now for Green. Overhit the pass. And Vertil Durelus goes down. He's holding an ankle. We play on. Center referee's been consistent with that call tonight. Now Wilkening on the edge of the blue-green 18 as Kenji Vertil Durelus is getting back to his feet. Now ball over the top. Warnell will take it on a hop. I think that's the thing I've appreciated the most about our center referee. He's been consistent tonight.
That's what you want.
Yep, exactly. Wilson now switching the field for Gomez, and there's no reason to hurry here. Actually, it's Valsecki. Takes the pass from Gomez. Vertil Durelus. Magalhaes. Paul Saez. Porter. Across the 75-minute mark here. It's 2-1, Duluth FC in the lead, but the big subplot here, the double yellow to Takuto Yamaguchi of Dakota Fusion, happening about 10 minutes back, and since then the Blue Greens have been in full control of matters here in terms of possession as Joseph Wilson to the far side. Makes it doubly difficult for the Fusion considering they're down a goal on top of everything else, so they can't afford to play entirely conservatively here. Now here's a turnover. Paul Sai is coming forward. He's got Sulemana on the run. Gives it to him. Edge of the 18. Akeem Sulemana. Inside out move. Gets a shot away and he scores! Fourth goal of the season for Akeem Sulemana, the German, as he took the pass from Paul Size off the turnover. Came in and beautifully picked the corner right side. And Duluth FC now has some breathing room at 3-1. And will be up a man here, 78th minute. Duluth FC going to make a substitution as well. But nifty finish that time from the German, Akeem Sulemana. Those quick feet. Taking a step to his right and tucking it in the right side corner. And Duluth FC now leads it by the score of 3-1. That was a pretty goal, Craig. Yep. Goal number 29 on the season for Duluth FC. And Sam Carlos is going to check in. Joao Magalhaes will come out. And the Blue Greens look to close us out over the next 12-plus minutes, leading at 3-1. With a date at the MPSL North Conference title game coming up on Saturday. But up a man. Up 2 goals is looking good for the Blue Greens at this point in time. Still a lot of time left, of course, but I know Duluth FC feeling pretty good.
Blue Greens goal! Scored by number 7, Akeem Sulemana. With the assist from number 6, Paul Size. That goal comes in the 77th minute. Sulemana from Size for your Blue Greens in the 77th minute.
And so 3-1 your score. Here's Gomez now.
Blue Greens substitution in for Magalhaes, number 19, Sam Carlos.
Paul Sias. Good to see him get an assist on that play, too. That was a nice feed. And Sulemana able to make some space on that left side of the 18 as Wilson now. In the middle now, here's Vertil Durelus, who has an assist tonight. Going outside. The Fusion looking a little bit winded at the moment here, Craig, as we move in these last 10 minutes plus. Bertil Duralus now turning. Porter laying it back now for Wilson. Gomez now turning on the right foot. Now Sulemana. Giving it short now, Gomez. Another Duluth FC substitution. I think it's Manu Lorenzo across the way is going to come in. But here's Gomez now. Davidson, who will be your man of the match for Duluth FC if game ended right now. Here's Sulemana. Inside out move. Sulemana still coming forward. Has taken off his foot. Green now tracking back. And he'll send it all the way back now for Callum Smith. Hatton now giving it a ride. High arcing ball, left foot. Joseph Wilson measuring it, now heads it wide. And Suzuki will just shield the big Englishman away from that one. It'll be a throw, and the substitution now will be given, it looks like. And looks like Lorenzo is going to take out Gomez. And so Lorenzo comes in. Gomez comes out. Nice night for Mateus Gomez. I thought he was very good tonight. Yep, and he deserves the applause. He had a good night tonight. Actually, Duluth FC, other than a wobble in the first half, here's a crossing ball now in. That'll get over the top of everybody and out for a goal kick. Other than that wobble on the goal, Craig, it's been a pretty good performance by the Blue Greens tonight. Been very solid across the board. Yep. Get contributions from a lot of different guys tonight.
Substitution in for Gomez, number 20, Manu Lorenzo.
Steady weight, pretty much injury-free too, so that's good.
Yeah, and that's always a concern as well, especially when you're looking at moving forward in the playoffs. You want to make sure that you keep your health. In the meantime, the throw from Suzuki. Plays it off of a blue-green foot. Now Suzuki will take another throw here. 82nd minute. Toss comes in now for James Owen. Now Hatton. Charlie Wilkening, who has the lone marker tonight here for the Fusion. Playing it short for Owen. Nice footwork there from the tall outside defender, Josh Hatton. Now Motomura floating it over the top. Carlos getting a touch to it. Now Lorenzo for Valsecchi. And now he goes down. And we'll have a throw coming up. Now they're going to say another substitution here for the Blue Greens. And I believe that's Parker Chasty who's going to come in. I haven't seen Chasty since the Twin Ports Cup. He only played 25, 30 minutes that night because that's all that was played that entire evening. That game got called off because of lightning and weather. Yeah, that was interesting note on that game. We actually got trapped in the press box for a good hour after that game was called because of the rain. And it was pretty full up here. We had the entire front office from Duluth FC, plus myself, plus Craig, plus our production people. We're all stuck up here.
Number 18, Parker Chasty.
But, well, here's Sulemana now coming forward. Got Porter. Tries to release him on the back door. Nice sliding attempt there by Suzuki. But, yeah, that was a heck of an evening there, Craig. That was something. Now here's Porter at the edge of the 18. Porter trying to get a shot away. Did it take a deflection? It did. Went off of the foot of Hatton. We'll have a corner kick far side. That's the first time I've had that experience, by the way, of getting trapped up here because the weather was really bad.
Good thing we have some electronics.
Yeah, I remember you and me and Sidney Burrell, the general manager of Duluth FC, and as well as the rest of our staff up here, our staff writer Jeffrey McClure. We all got stuck up here. Okay. We got an update from the other game. It's 4-1 Siouxland, so it looks like it'll be the Blue Greens and the Outlaws for the third time. By the way, those two teams played to 2 scoreless draws between the two teams. That would be played down in Siouxland, in Sioux City. Blue Greens open up the season with a scoreless draw against the Outlaws here, and then play the Outlaws to a scoreless draw down there. So 180 minutes of soccer, and neither team has scored against each other so far. So that should make for a very interesting game on Saturday if this score holds. In the meantime, Carlos now playing it outside. Here's Porter. Wilson. Manu Lorenzo now getting his first touch. Looks like the Fusion are going to make a substitution as well here at the next opportunity, as we're in the 85th minute. And Wiles doesn't need to be in a hurry to do much of anything there. Ball forward now. Here's Davidson laying it off. Valsecki outside. Sulemana. Davidson. Size now going to the outside. And Valsecki now will go all the way back for Joseph Wilson. Now Chasey going to come central here. Ran was older brother Keegan, by the way, the other day. Former Blue-Green and St. Scholastica Saints. I hadn't seen him in a while. Seems like he's doing well. Both Chasey brothers, Blue-Greens, during their respective careers. Now here's Seth Davidson. Valsecki making the run and try to play it to him. Takes a deflection and it'll get out for a corner kick. And the substitution now going to be made here. Is that Thomas Houghton that's coming off? It is. Haven't gotten the number on the substitute yet here for the Fusion in the 87th minute.
Blue-green corner kick driven by Bucks, legging up Duluth.
Carlos is going to take it. And by the way, it is Brady Hardy that is in. He started last Wednesday in the game between these two teams. Now this one deflected. Off the corner kick, cleared away. Sulemana. He gets stripped from behind now by Davidson.
Brady Hardy.
Now Wilson clipping it over the top, and he'll overshoot Nathan Porter near sideline. Throw comes in now for Fukumura. Fukumura playing it back for Motomura. 87th minute. About to go into the 88th minute here of this one. Duluth FC has been in control ever since the red card to Yamaguchi. Double yellow, actually. And it looks like, yeah, the Fusion are going to now empty their bench. They're going to bring in 4 new players to the next opportunity here and wave the white flag on this one. So it'll be Duluth FC, and it appears Siouxland United on Saturday for the MPSL playoff title, as this one headed now wide. Kind of fitting. They were the 2 best teams during the regular season. And they'll meet again in Sioux City, Iowa on Saturday. For more information on that one, I'm sure you can check out the MPSL website, and you can also go to DuluthFC.com as well as the Duluth FC social media accounts to find out more about that matchup with the Outlaws. In the meantime, ball in now. Here's Green making a move and scoring. Nice move there. Caden Green, and now he's going to be in a big hurry, and they have to be. That's going to be his 10th goal of the season. That comes in the 88th minute. So not over yet. And now maybe he'll pull back the subs. Looks like he might be. Been impressed with Caden Green. Both times that the Blue-Greens have played against him. He had 3 of the 4 goals for the Fusion the first time these two teams played. That was the Blue-Greens' lone loss of the season. So that goal, by the way, in the 88th minute for Green, his 10th of the season, making now 3-2. So not, like I said, not over yet.
Caden Green with an unassisted goal in the 88th minute. Green unassisted for Dakota Fusion in the 88th minute.
That goal, by the way, kind of came out of nothing. Gives you an idea how talented he is. Now here's Chasey. Parker Chasey with his first touch, getting it outside now. And here's Sulemana. Sulemana now starts stepping his way. Sulemana coming inside. Now through the middle, they score! Goal of Sam Carlos's. That'll be his second goal of the campaign for Sam Carlos. The assist to Suleiman, who's had a heck of a night. And now they will finally wave the white flag. All the subs are now going to come on. And I'll give the Fusion credit for bringing it to 3-2, but 4-2 your score now. 3 second-half goals for the Blue-Greens. And the substitutions now coming in for the Fusion here. How about the footwork by Suleimana, though? Keeping that in on the end line, feeding it to Carlos, who just had to tap it in. So 2 for Davidson, 1 from Suleimana, and 1 from Carlos for Duluth FC, welcoming in green the goals for the Fusion here tonight. This one is sent toward the top of the 18.
FC Blue-Green's goal. Score by number 19, Sam Carlos. With an assist to the goal for number 7, Akeem Suleimana. That goal coming in the 90th minute. Carlos assisted by Suleimana for the Blue-Greens in the 90th minute.
Now an even 30 goals on the season for Duluth FC. And the Blue-Greens and the Outlaws, like I said, back on track now. Porter lifting it over the top, now brought down. Siku Gogi, by the way, into the game. This is Kenyon Toure. Also Adam Schmidt in for the Fusion. Schmidt, an interesting story. He plays his college soccer for UW Superior as well. He's a teammate of Seth Davidson and Jacob Wiles. And meanwhile, here they come again. Here's Carlos, 3-on-2. Carlos. Suleimana. And he leaves the shot over the top. And Akeem Suleimana eating his jersey on that one. That's well, they can't all be gems, as my dad once said. But 4-2, the Blue-Greens about to move on to the MPSL North Conference playoff final against the Outlaws. Schmidt, by the way, getting his touch there. Now he loses it. Davidson trying to play it over the top. Intercepted by Suzuki. Now he'll angle the ball far side. Now Saez and Ralph Fall called on Duluth FC here. Free kick about 40 yards away from Warno's goal to our right. Free kick taken now by Fukumura. It'll go over the top of everybody and over the end line. It'll be a goal kick here coming up. Nice way to end the season at home as well. The Blue-Greens will be on the road the rest of the way no matter what happens. As Warno plays it short now. Here's Wilson giving it an angling ball with the left foot. Suleimana on the run. Trying to beat Toure to the ball. And Toure will play it short here. Suzuki. Ball forward. Balled away by Weil. Sent back by Toure. Comes back now into blue-green territory. Here's Wilson. And he'll just play it long here. Check of the watch there by our center referee. So thinking we're probably within a minute here of having the final whistle on this one as Callum Smith gives it a ride across field looking for Gogu. That one going to be popped up in the air by Valsecki. Now Lorenzo. Porter heading it forward. Size. Suzuki. Parker Chasty now for Duluth FC. Carlos now weaving his way forward. Gets brought down. And we'll have a free kick. Suzuki taking down the Frenchman Sam Carlos right near midfield. So 2 goals for Seth Davidson, a goal and 2 assists tonight for Akeem Sulemana. Goal for Sam Carlos tonight. But really felt like the game was pretty much in hand after the double yellow to Takuto Yamaguchi in the 65th minute. And yeah, it certainly did not help. Yeah. Davidson now on the turn. Backheel flick for Sulemana on the wing, and Sulemana can just take it to the corner if he wishes. Said he'll draw the foul, I think, or maybe not. Goal kick coming up now for Smith. Duluth FC will head down to Iowa with a record of 7 wins, 1 loss, and 3 draws here in 2026. As the final whistle goes, and the Blue-Greens close out the season at home here with a 4-2 win over Dakota Fusion FC in the MPSL North semifinal round of the playoffs. And we'll recap the scoring here before we say so long for the season. Seth Davidson getting Duluth FC off to a great start there. You can look at Davidson, number 9 in Navy. Scored 2 goals tonight for the Blue-Greens. Started in the 4th minute off an assist from Akeem Sulemana to make it 1-0. Charlie Wilkening with the unassisted free kick goal for the Fusion to make it 1-1. And that's where we stood at the break. Then the second half, the Blue-Greens taking control, scoring 3 of the 4 goals. Davidson with his second, 46th minute off an assist from Kenji Vertil Jarelus to make it 2-1. In the 65th minute, then the game really turns on the double yellow to Takuto Yamaguchi of the Fusion. The Blue-Greens with an 11-on-10 advantage the rest of the way, and they go on to add additional goals in the 77th minute from Sulemana and Paul Sayas to make it 3-1. Caden Green with a great individual effort for the Fusion against the run of play, scoring his 10th goal of the season for Dakota Fusion to make it 3-2 and give the Fusion a glimmer of hope at the end. But seconds later after that one, less than 2 minutes later in fact, Sulemana with his second assist feeding Sam Carlos right on the doorstep, who taps home his second goal of the season, and that concludes the scoring for this one. Your final score here in this semifinal contest, Duluth FC 4 and Dakota Fusion FC 2, and like I said, a nice way for the Blue-Greens to close out the home portion of the season here. Undefeated at home here in 2026, and they'll head down to Iowa to play a team that they drew with twice during the regular season in the Outlaws. So that'll be an interesting ball game, Craig. That should be a fun one down in Sioux City on Saturday.
Fun one to keep tabs on, that's for sure.
Yep.
Watch a live stream as well.
For more information on that one, by the way, you can go to DuluthFC.com. Also check out the Duluth FC social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and also the X account to find out more about that one. This is our last broadcast of 2026 as well. I'd like to say a big thank you to all our advertisers and all of our sponsors, as well as Mr. Morrissey and our entire crew from iFans. Greg, this is the first time we've worked together, I think, for a full season in a while, and pretty fun. 10 years now and still going.
Oh, we started way back.
Yeah, we started way back at the start in 2015, I think. It was 2015, 2016, something? Yeah. So.
In fact, I think I just put some of those games in, pulled them out of the archive.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, kind of fun to go back and have kind of retrospective at some point.
I'll look and see if I pull those.
Sounds good. So it's been a fun year. We hope you guys have enjoyed the broadcast as always. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We hope you've enjoyed the entire season of Duluth FC Soccer. This is my 10th year doing it, and I always enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and certainly the Blue-Greens continuing their run of success that they've had ever since the club started back in 2015. So for Craig Morrissey and our entire crew here with the iFan Sports Network, this is Matt Johnson. One more time repeating the final score. Duluth FC winning this NPSL North Conference playoff semifinal over Dakota Fusion. Final score here from Walt Hunting Stadium. Blue-Greens 4, the Fusion 2. Thanks for watching tonight and all season, everybody. We'll be talking again in 2027. This has been Duluth FC Soccer, sponsored by Aspirus St. Luke's, Sears Aircraft, and VW of Duluth on the iFan Sports Network.